This is the BBC News with Fiona MacDonald. The Israeli military says its warplanes struck more than 100 Hezbollah rocket launchers in southern Lebanon on Thursday, adding some were ready to be fired. The extensive airstrikes came as Israel's defence minister announced the approval of battle plans for the Israel-Lebanon border. Hezbollah's leader Hassan Nasrallah deplored the synchronised detonation of its communications equipment and threatened to retaliate. The White House said it's concerned about an escalation in the Middle East. Tom Bateman reports.
Washington continues to urge restraint, but knows it may be too late, given the scale of the explosions in Lebanon, widely attributed to Israel, and the potential Hezbollah response. US officials continue to focus on calls for de-escalation, but at the same time are ready to shield their ally Israel diplomatically and militarily. The US already has an aircraft carrier strike group in the region, and the Pentagon has said for now it is not planning to send further major assets.
Internet providers in Brazil say the social media platform X is offline again. It comes a day after the company said it had restored access by accident in contravention of a Supreme Court ban. Leonardo Rocha reports.
X, which has about 20 million users in Brazil, went back online on Wednesday. But the Supreme Court judge in charge of the case promptly announced the company would be fined more than $900,000 a day if it did not comply with an order to suspend user access. The platform, which is owned by Elon Musk, was banned last month after it refused to remove accounts accused of spreading disinformation and far-right views. Mr. Musk has described the move as illegal and authoritarian. The issue is hugely divisive in Brazil, as most of those targeted are supporters of the former president Jair Bolsonaro.
The number of identified Russian fighters killed on the front line in Ukraine has reached 70,000. The tally has been kept by BBC Russia and its partner Bediazona. Analysis reveals volunteers are increasingly older men with lower incomes. A team of scientists say it's beyond reasonable doubt the COVID pandemic started with infected animals sold at a market rather than a laboratory leak. They were analysing hundreds of samples collected by the Chinese Centre for Disease Control and Prevention from Wuhan in January 2020. It identified animals, including raccoon dogs and civets, as potential carriers of the virus. Professor Michael Worrowby worked on the study.
The scientists from the Chinese CDC swabbed surfaces from all over this market. And they asked, let's sequence the heck out of all of the DNA and RNA in each sample and just see what's there. And when you do that, you can start to see what potential host species were definitely there.
BBC News. Two of the major US stock indices have closed at record highs as markets reflected on the Federal Reserve cutting the official interest rates on Wednesday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 1.26%, while the S&P 500 was up 1.7%. Guinea's most wanted fugitive, Claude Puvis, has been repatriated to Conakry after he was arrested in Liberia. The former army officer escaped from prison last November. He was convicted in absentia for his role in the 2009 massacre of opposition supporters at a stadium in the capital. More than 150 people have appeared before a Moroccan judge accused of inciting illegal migration. The authorities are prosecuting them after about 3,000 people failed in a mass attempt to breach the heavily fortified defences of the Spanish enclave of Ceuta on Morocco's northern coast. Social media posts had encouraged them to make the attempt. The Los Angeles Dodgers baseball star Shohei Ohtani has become the first major league player to achieve 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases in a single season. Ohtani hit his 50th home run against the Miami Marlins. The BBC's Reagan Morris reports from Los Angeles.
On a 1-2, Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani was already in the exclusive 40-40 club. Only 6 players in Major League history have eclipsed that many home runs and stolen bases in a season. And now Ohtani has created the 50-50 club.
One-of-a-kind player! One-of-a-kind season! Shohei Ohtani!
The LA Dodgers star from Japan, playing on a 10-year, $700 million contract, was focused on setting the record. "If I'm being honest," he said after the game through an interpreter, "it was something I wanted to get over as soon as possible."
And that's the latest BBC News.